And for 8 months, the Rebound Arizona's Courtney Holmes has been pushing to get you answers on this, on why there are still so many problems. But tonight, for the very first time, she's giving us all a firsthand account of what's going wrong inside one of these problem areas, the DES call center that answers pleas from people who are desperate to get the help they're owed.
Here's Courtney with her exclusive interview with a worker inside that call center and what it revealed about how the state is handling the fallout from the pandemic.
It's day one of radiation treatments for Victoria Burkhart.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 invasive ductal carcinoma. Yeah, leave it to me to get cancer during a pandemic. Go big or go home, I always say.
Diagnosed in April, she's conquered chemo and made it through a mastectomy. Now she has to survive DES.
I'm terrified about this now.
For the past 5 months, the weekly $240 unemployment has been helping with rent and paying for the special food and medicine that insurance doesn't cover.
I'm going through radiation. I need a certain special type of lotion to go under the area so that I don't get badly burned.
But one day she says the payments just stopped.
And I called in. 8 times I called.
Give them another week or two.
It's a story Larry Hudson says he's heard from the DES call center again.
Another week or two went past.
And again.
10 weeks went past. Didn't hear from nobody or anything. Oh, it rang twice.
The father of 3 says those weeks have turned into nearly 9 months. Of only one payment of $117, he says his family was kicked out of their apartment and are splitting time between his mom's place.
They want to move, but I can't.
And his aunt's efficiency apartment.
And it hurts to tell my kids that we're going to be here for another week. And we don't know when this week going to end.
And here's the thing, the people on the other side of the phone don't know either, because as DES cracks down on fraud, the rules for legitimate claims keep changing. And that's a problem, because any miscommunication, any mistake could set you back months. And one call center agent we spoke to says that the problems begin with poor training.
This training for this should have been at least 5 or 6 weeks. It's 2.5 days.
This is an employee for DES call center contractor Valor IT and does not want to be identified for fear of losing their job.
This is DES. This is unemployment. It is complicated. How do you have 2.5 days for training and then you throw people on the floor?
The worker was hired over the summer and says only after insisting on it did they get additional training. But they say the lack of training combined with near daily changes in policies make call center deputies, that's what they're called, uninformed and powerless to help anyone.
We used to be able to say that you have issues. This is what the issues are.
Active issues, a familiar status for those with unemployment claims.
It's kind of like the luck of the draw.
This person says they used to be able to fix them.
While I'm on the phone doing this, I see this message and say, "Oh no, you can't do that anymore. We're not fixing any issues anymore." I said, "What do you mean? You know, I just told that guy that I just fixed his issues."
How often does that happen where you're told something, you relay that to a claimant, and then you find out that's absolutely wrong?
Too many times. Probably, I don't know, at least a couple of times a day, if not more.
They say for months, the cycle of misinformation revolved around the identification needed to restore benefits after they've been abruptly stopped.
We can't accept the passport and the birth certificate anymore. Well, a lot of people didn't know that. So they're telling the persons on the phone saying, "Well, I was told I could use my birth certificate." Well, I'm sorry that was the case, but it's not anymore.
This person says most people weren't even aware that there was a problem until the money was cut.
I'm still mind blown by this.
And that's what happened to Victoria.
I told her I was never notified of this. Did they send me a letter? And she told me no. Okay. What about an email? Was I notified by email because I didn't see it? And she's like, "No, we aren't reaching out to people to tell them if they need this."
While there's no way to know for sure what's going on with each case, we do know DES cut off an additional 43,000 suspected fraudulent accounts in September. Spokesman Brett Bezio tells ABC 15 all 43,000 claimants were notified through their PUA portal, as well as an emailed notice with instructions on how to begin identity verification. And he said less than 1% verified their identity, and the low response supports the actions taken. Now, all PUA claimants must re-identify themselves through ID Me to continue receiving benefits.
Most people that you speak to have not been informed that they need to do this before you tell them.
They say, well, if I knew I had to do this, I would have done it already.
Which means more calls clogging up the system.
The phone is nonstop.
And the people that call center workers cannot help are often waiting on an adjudicator. That's who Larry is waiting for.
We are experiencing high call volume and long wait times.
They investigate issues with the claims, allowing people to get paid, and DES is having a hard time keeping them. ABC 15 has learned there's a 45% turnover rate. That means nearly half the adjudicators hired leave. And deputies like this person are left to answer for it.
It breaks my heart because it's just not right. This is money that they deserve.
More importantly, it's money that they need.
My life depends on it, and our livelihood depends on it.
And to give you an idea of how quickly things change in DES world, both Victoria and Larry received some payment after our interview. Then just days later, they got a letter from DES saying that, never mind, they're denied benefits. Both are appealing. For The Rebound Arizona, I'm Courtney Holmes, ABC 15, Arizona.
Courtney, thank you. And in a statement to ABC 15, DES says the call center previously had, quote, an abbreviated training where their staff were only involved in answering general inquiries. But that has now increased to 7 days with an additional 2 for on-the-job training. Call center contractor Valor IT, who you heard of in this story, tells ABC 15 prior to implementing any new changes, agents are up-trained up to 16 hours per month per agent.